Hey guys, first regardsman here, and I'll be talking about a power sword banner-based bulwark build for patch 10.0 Space Marine 2. Now, the main idea of this build is building all around our banner with things like Purity of Purpose, a Glory Shield, Inspiration, and Standard Bearer. The banner is one of the most entertaining parts of the bulwark class in my opinion, so building around this is actually a ton of fun. And the outfit I have chosen today is a Dark Angel Deathwing. That way I can take the Dark Angel's power sword skin, and the variant of the power sword I've chosen today is the block version. So you could really take whichever version you want. I am picking up the Intimidating Aura perk here, which pretty much carries any weapon that you could possibly choose on the Bulwark regardless. So, it is really up to you. But for the perk tree, I still would set it up the same way with Armored Strength first, moving here into the perk Master of Offense. After switching a sword combat style, you deal 20% more melee damage for 5 seconds, cooldown is 10 seconds. Usually, you will be doing a lunging attack out of your sword combat style switch, which means you'll be able to go immediately into a power rake and get that 20% buff on top of the 50% buff later. So really strong option, though I will say Master of Defense can still help you a lot. I just prefer this one. Next perk here is Perpetual Strength. The Perpetual Strength, moving here into the perk Tranquility. While in Power Whirl stance, you do not lose control from heavy hits and can't be knocked back. This perk would be kind of okay, if not for the fact it's completely redundant with perks like Armored Advance and of course perks like Merciless Resolve, which I am picking up one of, so this one doesn't do a ton for us, but either way we have to take this and go into the next perk, which is Melee Onslaught. This weapon deals 10% more melee damage. 10% buff on your melee damage is quite free, and this one is just, one of the best versions of this perk in the game. Next perk here is Hard Target. While performing a light combo, you take 15% less range damage. This perk is not incredible, but it's actually pretty decent at times, mainly with the fencing version, because on the block we only have 3 speeds, so we're really not getting a ton out of this, but still pretty decent, still helps out occasionally, so we kind of have to pick it up regardless to go into the next perk, which is Cutting Edge. Power Rake deals 50% more melee damage. This perk is godly. 50% more melee damage on your Power Rake is incredible, and Power Rake is by far the most important attack on the Power Sword to begin with. If you're unaware of what Power Rake is, it is basically just your charge attack immediately after a light. It is the long slash and down like a straight line. So a really strong option, your heaviest hitting attack besides Power Whirl, and this just makes it even stronger. Next perk here is Extremis Slayer, moving up here into the perk Majora's Slayer, and of course the perk Terminus Slayer. I do skip over Minora's Slayer because I really don't think we struggle with Minora's anyways, especially with a Purity of Purpose banner. Instead I pick up the perk Power Restoration for 100% more CHP regen in our power style stance. I will say, if you want to take the speed restoration instead, you can definitely do that. It's really up to you. Both of them are pretty good for like the same reason. It's just, personal preference. That's pretty much all there is for the melee weapon selection. Now, for the secondary, I did take the Rate of Fire Plasma Pistol because it has overpowered CHP regen, incredible stagger, incredible DPS, and the only thing holding it back is ammo economy. And more importantly for this build, it has a Dark Angel DLC skin, so I want to use that. But for the perk tree, pretty much on this one, just build it all the way down the top line here for ammo perks and pick up things like Divine Might for 10% bonus damage. And a lot of people ask, why is the Rate of Fire Plasma Pistol so good compared to like the magazine capacity version? Well, the reason for that is there are a lot of enemies in this game that will frame lock you and make it impossible to actually charge up your shot in time to get your CHP back. This one completely circumvents that, so things like this will be stuck versus a Terminator Sword Warrior, and this one simply won't be, which is why it is so strong. Now, I will say I'm taking this versus Chaos today, but if you want to take the Tyranid versions of this build, you could pick up the Heroic Bolt Pistol or the Heavy Bolt Pistol. It is up to you. I would probably build this one down the top tree here rather than going over to the perks like Able Damage, but once again, that's up to you. These weapons are still pretty strong, just not super strong versus Chaos at the moment because Chaos has a ton of broken headshot multipliers, which is why the Plasma Pistol is so powerful, and the Neo Volkite is not a bad gun, it's just not very good for CHP regen, and unfortunately the Bulwark is stuck with only a secondary, so unlike the Vanguard, he can't really make up for that with like a Bolt Carbine, which is why we don't take it. That's pretty much all there is for the secondary selection. Now for the Bulwark perk tree, I do pick up Intimidating Aura first. A perfectly timed parry deals area effect damage within a 5-meter radius, cooldown is 5 seconds. This perk is simply incredible. It gives you so much free damage versus Extremis, Majoris, and even bosses. This perk can practically solo the Mutilith Vortex Beast. It's kind of insane how good it is currently, and especially on a block weapon where you don't get to stagger enemies as much, the free damage helps a lot with things like Lictors. That's why we pick it up. Next perk here is Scramble Targeting. If you're surrounded by 5 or more enemies, you take 25% less damage from range attacks. This is just a free range damage reduction perk, pretty damn good, though I will say with the upcoming Heroic Thunderhammer, the Shock and Awe perk is actually pretty strong with that, but we'll talk about that at a later date. Next perk here is Still Within. When your health is less than 50%, you take 30% less health damage. Having at least one health damage reduction perk on the Bulwark helps a ton because you do have a 30% starting base HP, which is really taking advantage of perks like this. Without a perk like this, you will feel significantly squishier, so I really would pick up Conviction or this one. Next perk here is Focus Restoration. Every 30 seconds, all of your squad members automatically restore one armor segment. This really makes up for our lack of armor regen here because we don't have armor reinforcement, though I will say, if you want to take advanced conditioning for a slower CHP fade, this one is also very powerful. It's also a very forgiving perk if you're just learning how to play, so both of these are great options. This one is just free damage reduction for your whole team. This one just gives you more leeway on how to get your CHP back, and they're good in different scenarios. Even effective formation is quite powerful on certain stratagem modifiers, but once again, Bulwark's team perk selection is just very powerful overall. Next perk here is Purity of Purpose. The banner deals damage over time to enemies within its area of effect. This will have a damage over time effect of 4 damage per second. And to put this in perspective here, the Tyranid Warriors have 308 HP, so this one can almost 100 to 0 them and leave them at 20 HP after a full banner with Glorious Shield, which is pretty good for a one-shot immediately after. So it's great for wiping out Minoris, Majoris, Extremis, and even bosses at times, and it's also just very good at controlling an area, so Purity of Purpose, top tier perk for sure. The next perk here is Glorious Shield. All of your squad members in the banner's area effect take 20% less damage, and the banner lasts 20% longer. This just makes your banner way more valuable. It's also just a ton of fun to use, because unlike Invigorating Icon, you do not have a slower cooldown. And this one just means you get to play with your banner more often, and your banner does more, which is pretty damn fun. And usually using your class ability in this game is the most entertaining part of playing a class, and this lets you do that more. So great perk for sure. It also has a great synergy with the perk up here, and the next perk, Inspiration, that gives you 20% more damage than your banner's area for your whole team. This one's actually pretty great, especially for buffing up your ranged teammates and stuff like that. It also just has great synergy with everything else in your tree. And the final perk for the signature tree here is Armored Advance. If you have armor remaining, you don't lose control from heavy hits and can't be knocked back. This perk is simply incredible for no knockback, and since we're not taking the perk over here, Merciless Resolve, it's kind of a mandatory perk because otherwise you get slapped around. Now for the Prestige perk tree, I do take Overcharge first. Charge attack damage increases by 20%. This does increase the damage of your Shield Rush and the Power Rake on your Power Sword, so kind of a no-brainer. Next perk I take here is Powerful Shot. Range damage increases by 20%. You could skip over this perk and take Auxiliary Reload or Resilience if you want to. That is up to you. I just want the extra damage this time around. And the final 2 perks I grab are Masterful Defense for that OP CDR, because this one gives you an ability charge of 1% for every blocked range attack. This is pretty much just stack endlessly, so you can get your banner back entirely versus things like Soul Reaper Can Terminators, or get chunks of your banner back versus Devourers, so really strong for that. Pretty much always pick this perk up if you have a shield, because there's really no reason not to. CDR is a very powerful ability in basically every single Horde shooter ever, and this one is no different. The final perk I grab is Standard Bearer. When your chapter banner activates, you become invulnerable to damage for 2 seconds. Now, this one may not seem that good initially, but there are times where you plant your banner and you'll get damage nuked otherwise. But this one actually helps a lot with things like Power Whirl, because the invulnerability of this perk gives you the ultimate form of no knockback in Space Marine 2. You will literally phase through enemy hits, so if you're trying to do a Power Whirl, something like that, or more importantly, an Aftershock on a Thunderhammer, it's really good for that, because 2 seconds is a fairly long uptime, or at least long enough to get your charge attack off, which is why I like this one quite a bit. It also just fits the whole theme of the build we're doing here for a banner build. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much all there is to this build guide. Hopefully this helped. Hopefully this one sounds pretty fun to use. This is actually one of my favorite builds at the moment, and the Power Sword is one of the coolest weapons in Space Marine 2. But don't worry, guys, we're going to talk about the Power Axe pretty soon, because in patch 11.0, this block axe is absolutely nuts. I think this will probably be the best melee weapon in the entire game, maybe even over the Power Fist, or at least equivalent. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. But for now, Power Sword super fun, banner build really fun. Hopefully this helped. Hopefully you enjoy content like this. And if you do, subscribe for more. And as always, thank you for watching. Take it easy. Bye.
I couldn't stop that target from running. Exterminate that contemptuous element. No quarter granted to the profane fighters. Ammunition expended. A dark path. Our banner awaits unfurled. The Shangar is reduced to a stain on the battle. Terminator advancing. Retreat is not permitted. That fate was weak. That one is on reserve for. I see our objective, brothers.
The second company is already lost. We are its last pathetic gasp.
Not this flag. Corruption speaks with our voices, but our zeal will shield us to the psychic subterfuge. No mercy for chaos. The Emperor's race must. Arrogance and ambition. We honored our primacy. Traitorous scout! Still. This has our banner awaits unfurled.
Our relic, now we're cooking.
Discordant one, and remake this realm in the name of the dark gods. Our duty is to find and kill.
Yeah, I see the two shot things with heavy attacks and no block charges. We're not too shooting anything except for Zangors. Block charge, we have overcharge on, so we do have 20% buffs for our things like C1, takes 3 on rubrics. We have intimidating aura on though. Xenophase is not the heaviest hitting power swords this one. I'd also say.
Load up. Continue to search for power cells, brothers. Silence that flame-cutting beat, brothers. Sorcerous heretics are granted no glory. Our spirit stands stronger than their corruption. Our adversary wishes to renew their assault. Deny them any advantage. Power cells for the bridge are the only way forward. Restore the generator with power cells.
There's no weapon in this game that outdamages their block counterpart with, like, speaking of how they work, the adrenaline surcharges. Yo, what's up, Starboy?
Power cells for the bridge are the only way forward. Our heritage procedure. These gods talk an ominous language. Done. Ready to deploy. For the Imperium of Man. Well done. The spearman lies slain. Arrogance and ambition. Continue to search for power cells, brothers. Restore the generator with power cells. Restore the generator with power cells. mission has ended in death. I have found a power cell. That one's calling reserve force. Our enemy brings forth. The bridge should function now. Shielding breached. Execute the possessed psyker. My mind is steeled against this grotesque corruption. We have the demonic monstrosity on the run! Hold fast, brothers! It pulls us into darkness!
Yeah, we're sorry, I was probably getting headshot bonus. There is no headshot bonus for this boss. But there technically is in the files, but he has no head. It's not one that anyone's found.
Bombarded with corrosive energies. Whoever finds us an exit will have my thanks.
Not one that anyone has found so far.
Path to deliverance. I am free of the darkness. Now to eliminate its source. The extremities are first priority. Send the spearman back to its master.
Actually, rude. The ammo.
Ammunition here. Those tentacles have us at a disadvantage. Well done. The spearman lies slain. The beast is disarmed! Attack! Evade! Projectiles inbound! Where shall I plant this flag? Avoid those beams! Conserve munitions until we take down that arcane barrier. This whole relay station is rotted through with heretical scum. Do not let a single unholy cur touch that beast, brothers. We have done well putting down this twisted horror. formed twisted existence. Ready to deploy.
Oh, right. Okay. For that. This is the easy part though, since main ore just brutalizes this boss every time.
Equipment found. Let's expand. Amplify our valor. Who said heresy? Speak now. Now is our chance. Finish the beast off.
That's the full banner buff build Bulwark. It's actually pretty good. Give it a 20% buff. 2 seconds of invulnerability is quite useful. You know, there's a lot of little tricks you can do with that. The fact that it gives you like 100% no knockback feels really good. Makes you dream of like what no knockback could be in this game.